Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, everyone. I hope that you are having a wonderful day, and I hope that you are able to hear me and see me. Well, not see me, but hear me. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Just waiting for people to come on in. Hello. It's good to hang out again, you know? It's been a while since I've done one of these live streams, and it feels good to be hanging out again. I think it was Halloween was the last one. I think, yeah, we played Yuppie Psycho. That's right. Well, today I don't really have anything planned. I just thought it'd be fun to pop on and say hello, especially after wrapping up on another big series. Just wanted to come on and say hi. It's good to hear from everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Hello, hello. People are coming through the chat now. Hello. Hi. Oh, that's kind of a weird crop, isn't it? Here, let me see if I can. There we go. Perfect. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. It's so good to just be back. I know that it's been a while, and I'm really excited to kind of bring forward a whole new set of things. Now that I've wrapped up on one of the more quintessential stories of my platform, I'm excited about the future because I have new ideas. I have a new sense of inspiration to be able to continue and give you some of the best stories that I can potentially give you. And I hope that you've been enjoying, everything that I've been putting out lately. I know that it's kind of been changing a little left and right. And I know that I've missed a bunch of uploads, and I'm sorry, life gets in the way, I just hope that you've been enjoying, and I can't wait to, show you what I have planned for the future. Just wanted to come in here and say hello to everybody. It's been a while, and it's nice to be able to hear from you guys. I'm just going to read through some of the comments here. Just stopping by to say hi. I wish you all a good stream. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to see everybody. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi, hi, hi. Hi. Hello. Oh, someone is asking, what was your inspiration for that project in the first place? Well, it was one of the first videos that I ever put out, and it got so popular. People kept asking for a part 2 and then a part 3, and then it eventually became a series. I edited more into it. I created more characters, and eventually I kind of closed the book on it. And I know that a lot of people were asking for, a second book, as it were, or a part 2 to the series. And I feel like I might have waited a little too long for that, but that's okay. I'm glad that I got the story out there now. I feel good about it. I feel like I got to tell the story that I was really excited to tell, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. How is everybody? I hope you're all doing good. Oh, there's another comment. When I saw the final chapter of your Princess and Her Guard book 2, I was shocked to hear about the truth. Well, I wanted to do some kind of big twist. It wouldn't exactly be a Vixie voice video without some major twist, right? And I felt bad because I feel like in every other one of my series, I'm not the bad guy, you know what I mean? I feel like everybody else, the characters have to kind of take the plunge for me. And I wanted to try and mix it up and see what would happen if this became the outcome. And I really love, honestly, how the whole thing tied together. I didn't know how this was going to end. I started this series with an idea, but I didn't know how it was going to end until we got to a point in the story where I was like, oh, this could be so much fun. But I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did. I put a lot of love and work into it, and my voice actors are immaculate, aren't they? They're so immaculate. I can't do any of these things without them. Otherwise, it would just be like me doing a lot of really weird voices. And as much fun as that would be for me, it doesn't really make for a good, role play. How are you? Oh, thank you for asking. I'm doing good. I got waking up, early in the morning. Well, not early for me, but it's the weekend for me, and I'm enjoying having a nice, relaxing start to the day. I hope that you're all having a good time. I hope that you're all, feeling good. Welcome back. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. I am happy to be back. I was really excited to be able to come back on the live stream and talk about, well, anything that's been on my mind lately. And I have so much to, I guess, talk about when it comes to the series. Like, not talk about, but I'm just gushing over it, to be honest. I'm so happy that it, resulted the way it did. I'm happy with it. I'm incredibly happy with it. Oh, I got another question. What was the inspiration for the Girl in Your Dreams video? That was actually a conversation I had with a friend of mine not too long ago. Very good friend of mine. We were talking about the concept of like, what if you have already met the person that you were supposed to be with? Like, what if you've already met that person and you didn't even realize it? Like, not subconsciously, but like in the world. And from there, it kind of snowballed into this concept, and I started writing these things down, and it eventually turned into this video. It was a really sweet kind of concept, and I really wanted to play with, a little bit more of like the fourth wall, considering that like it's literally the two of us having a conversation. But that was the inspiration. It was a conversation between a friend of mine. Thank you everybody for hanging out and asking me questions. It really makes my life a lot easier to be able to push these streams along. Like, I always feel bad when I do these, and those of you who've been here since, the get-go will know, like, when it comes to these streams, I kind of feel like I'm rambling. And yes, in a way I am, but I'm happy to be able to answer questions, especially considering that I honestly don't do these kinds of things very often, and I'm happy to be able to talk to you directly. I hope, again, like I keep saying, I hope you all enjoyed my series. I am so excited for the new one that I'm putting together. I'm working on it. I don't know when it's going to be released. I will sneak things here and there, I'm sure. But I've got a lot of great content coming your way. I have started to really pop off on Spotify for, which I really appreciate. Like, a lot of y'all have been listening to my roleplay radio station on Spotify, which is really awesome. I'm really happy that you enjoyed it. It's been great. It's been great to be able to really kind of get back into the swing of things. You know what I mean? Is there going to be a Princess and Her Guard book 3? No. I'm closing the book officially on this series. I'm happy with the way it ended, and I don't think that there's anything more I'd be able to add to it, to be honest. So I will be closing the book on that one and moving on to bigger and a lot more complicated things, I'm sure. But I appreciate everybody who has been able to, stick by and enjoy the series, especially from its conception to now. It's been a wild ride. I was like going through some of the original Princess and Her Guard, like the first book, and it was hard not to feel emotional because the voice actors of Zimu and Prince Calidus, they were very, really great people. They're really great people. They are, I don't know if Grimm Audios is still posting. I don't know, but I definitely know that Sanctuary Audios is not. But they really brought their own flair to it, and I was so happy to be able to work with them. They really brought their own magic to this, and it made it sparkle in a way that I could never do it on my own. And with this next one, I was really nervous because, I really wanted to make sure that the story was what I had always wanted it to be. So to be able to cast the voice actors that I did was, it was like a dream come true. Everybody was so great and so understanding because of, like, I had so many things happen in my life that, like, kind of delayed things. And so I was so blessed to be able to work with these people. And, speaking of which, we actually have the star himself in the chat right now. Hi, Jackson. It's good to hear from you. And I'm really really happy that he was able to be a part of the series. Like, I swear, the audio tracks that he would send me, like, were some of my favorite things, because he would, like, it was one continuous recording, so I could hear, like, his outward inner monologue, and it really, like, made the process more fun to edit, because I was going through and I was feeling the same kind of, like, inner monologue that he was feeling. So I'm really, really honored to be able to have worked with him, and I can't wait to be able to work with him again in the future. Absolutely. How do you get those voice actors for this channel? I actually reached out to people directly. I reach out to people either on their social media, maybe like Twitter. I've seen a lot of people that, like, you know, they have or sometimes I'll, like, make a post about it and people will reach out to me. I can't remember if Jackson directly messaged me or emailed me, and I can't honestly remember how that happened, but for a lot of voice actors, I will, you know, I look through their channels and I will message them directly depending on whatever social media, you know, platform they have. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. We, you know, keep trying. Hello, everybody. It's great to see more and more people in the chat. It was so wonderful to be able to close the book on this series, because, like, I feel good. I feel really good about the ending. I feel good about the story. I feel good about the characters. I feel like I can take a deep breath and finally close the book and move on to a new book, which I'm so excited. Like, whenever I feel this kind of, like, you know, invigoration to start something new, I really want to put my all into it and be able to give you all a really one-of-a-kind, unique experience. And I really want to put you in the driver's seat as much as possible. Ooh, more comments. Hello, hello. Oh, Vixie, it's such an honor to work with you. I always learn so much, and it's deeply, truly appreciated. I can't wait to work together in the future. Absolutely, Jackson. We're absolutely going to be doing that. Like, you made my life so much easier throughout this whole process. And I know that I didn't exactly make it easy for myself, but that's okay. We learn and we move on. If you're looking to expand the channel, have you ever thought about hiring scriptwriters as well? I have thought about it. I mean, I have a link for people to send scripts if they're interested, and I try and do my best to credit them whenever at all possible. But I have not thought about hiring. I'm currently not exactly at a point where I can afford that. But I do want people to be able to get the recognition that they deserve, and I would love to eventually, you know, hire somebody. But like I said, right now, it's not exactly feasible for me. I'm happy to write the stories that I want to write, and I'm also happy to read other people's scripts if they want to submit them to me. I believe there's a link in the description of this video if you're interested. Anybody's welcome to do so. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're at. Hello. Hi. Are you saying that that writing another Princess and Her Guard book would be a royal pain? Y'all keep me young. Hello. Awesome. Oh, more people. Hey, Vixie, hope your day is going great. And any houseplants are thriving. Oh, well, I'm having a good day. They're hanging in there. Any milestones in your other passions outside of your channel's showing growth? Well, I've been feeling good about the milestones about this channel. Outside of that, I'm not really doing a whole lot, you know? I'm working like crazy, which makes me feel good because, like, I finally feel like I'm working at a job that doesn't feel like a job. It feels like, you know, a passion. And I can't believe that I'm able to be paid for something like this. It genuinely and truthfully is, I wake up every day excited to go to work, and that's something that I never thought I would say. So that's, for me, a really great milestone. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Hello. Hi. I missed the start of the stream, so maybe this was already missed, but I was wondering it would inspire you to choose your own adventure ending. I've always loved the choose your own adventure ending. And I think I've done this before in one of my horror role plays. I genuinely can't remember. But Oh, it was the trick or treat. It was like you choose either a trick or a treat, and then you get to pick between two different videos. It was like way, way back in the day when it was like the channel was in its early stages. And I really loved, like, I was especially inspired, obviously, by In Space with Markiplier. I love the choose your own. I love any of his, like, choose your own adventures. His point of view kind of content is exactly what I strive to make, is that kind of quality, that kind of immersion. And to be able to do something like this on this big a scale was tricky. It was really tricky. I can't imagine the amount of time and effort that goes into making something as big as in, the Markiplier series. And I was really excited to try something different. And it was a choose your own ending, and the results were different, but the same at the same time. It's hard to explain. I was just really excited about the concept of being able to give you the option of hearing two alternate endings. And, I really hope that people kind of like that concept, and maybe I'll explore it again in the future. I'm curious, do you enjoy doing a lot of world building for scripts and stories, or do you prefer to come up with things on the fly? I prefer the world building. It makes my life easier when it comes to voice acting. Like, I know the direction that I want to go, but some of the times, I don't have time to, like, flesh out a whole universe. So I have to kind of start with a sentence and then go from there and build the world around that as I go. A lot of the world building I do it more audibly than I do visually, or like, I have to learn that it's okay to put context in dialogue with something like this. Like, I'm so used to the visual medium that I sometimes forget that, like, just because there's a visual cue doesn't mean that the audience knows what they're watching. So I'm learning to do that more, and I apologize if I've, like, caused confusion in the past. Well, I'd like to send you another script, but I was worried that about being rude by piling multiple scripts on you at once. Feel free to send as many as you'd like. Like I said, the link is in the description. I'm happy to hear them, and I'm happy to read them. I could never submit a script to someone so gorgeous sounding and talented, out of fear mostly. That's very sweet. It's very sweet, but honestly, I would be honored just to even hear an idea. You know what I mean? Like, if you have an idea for a role play, I'm happy to hear those. I have actually gotten a lot of inspiration from other people's comments, and I try my best to, include that if I remember, and I desperately feel bad if I don't, but I'm happy to hear ideas. I'm happy to listen. I don't want people to think that I'm, I'm something to be feared. I want people to be able to express themselves and be able to be heard. You know what I mean? I want my platform to be able to uplift other people. Like, that's a huge reason why I started this channel. So even if you're not going back to make a book 3, if any of us choose to go back in time and save the princess, do we really go back in time to save her or not? No. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't, heard this series at this point. No, there is no realm. Regardless of alternate realities, there's no realm where this would have worked out well for her. The only way that it would have worked is if it just didn't happen at all. And I don't think that that's, I like this ending more. Like, I like the fact that we got to hear the story. We got to know who she was. We got to hear her motivation. And we got to hear, like, how devoted and dedicated she was. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just a selfish, well, I mean, in some ways it could be seen as a selfish thing, but I hope that the ending came across the way I wanted it to come across. I'm sorry if I'm, like, rambling. I'm just saying a bunch of things. Can you please give us a hint as to what your next series will be? Well, it's going to be a big one. I'm going to actually pre-record and pre-edit a lot of things before I release them. So this time we'll actually might be able to stay on schedule. But okay, it is a POV, obviously, but this one is going to be the listener is in the driver's seat. Like, I'm not a main character. Well, I am a main character, but I'm not, like, next to you the whole time. you're going to be in this world completely on your own, and you get to kind of explore and meet all these other characters, and I'm just a character in this world. And so I'm really excited about that, because I'm going to be able to bring in a lot of talent and voice actors to be able to kind of push them forward into the spotlight. And I really can't say too much without giving too much away, because it's difficult to describe, but I know anytime I post one of these videos, it's popular. Y'all love it. So I'm hoping to be able to take one of my more popular concepts and turn it into a whole franchise for you. And I am hoping to get that going as soon as I can. Like I said, I can't start limiting myself to time constraints. I need to find a way to make this work naturally. You know what I'm saying? But I will promise you that I will do everything I can on the back end, so you don't have to worry about the delays on the front end. I really enjoy the live streams. Thank you. I'm glad that you do. I feel funny because I'm talking to you, but it's only my voice, and I'm sorry if that sounds like crazy. After a while, I start to hear myself. You know what I mean? I'm the same way with world building. I've attempted to start doing my own role plays at some point. I've been tempted to start doing my own role plays at some point, though I'm a bit worried about where to start. Anywhere. You could start anywhere. Like, if you have an idea, even if it's 2 minutes long, try it. Try it out. Put it out there. See how it goes. And just keep going. You know what I mean? Keep writing stories. Write it at your own pace. Write the stories you want to write. Write the characters you want to write. Create the worlds you want to create. And people will follow. People will find that and, connect with that on a really personal level. Like, I was really surprised with how personal a lot of people connect with these stories that I write. And I hope to be able to continue to inspire other people to be able to come forward and create things like this. I have milled around the idea of doing like a how-to, or like, for me, like how I started or how I edit or how I write stories. I've been thinking about doing a series of that. Let me know if that's something that you might be interested in. I'm happy to, share my processes. I'm always happy to do so. I'm not somebody that's going to start like gatekeeping because like, oh no, I don't want anybody else in the, no, absolutely not. I want to be as transparent as possible. That's my motto. I also might have too high of an expectation of what I want to do, since it'd be more action-based. That's fine. I've done tons of action-based ones. And yes, it is, I will admit, it is very heavy on the audio editing. Like, in order to really get those worlds the way you want them to, you got to put a lot of little things that make a bigger picture, like a puzzle. And those little intricacies, like the more you play with it, the more you're going to hear it, and you're going to, well, how do I say this? I'm sorry. I'm rambling. The more puzzle pieces that you put on there, the bigger and more in-depth that picture's going to look. So experiment. Maybe even try doing the world first, like the audio first, and then come back to the story. And maybe that might spark some inspiration, or maybe it's good practice. It's always good practice. Maybe the first couple of ones are, not the best. I definitely don't think my first videos were anything to write home about, but that's okay, because you learn and you grow, and eventually, you develop your own style. So just start and keep going. That's exactly the advice that I would want anybody to have. Vixie, remember when we wrote a story during one of those streams? Yeah, I think that was also a Halloween stream. We wrote the movie night one, right? Between the vampire and, what was it, like a Frankenstein? That was fun. I gotta do one of those again. That was a lot of fun. Like, a lot of good stories came out of that one. Thought it made sense. Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm glad that it did make sense. I can't speak for everyone, but I don't care about schedules. I'm just happy to get a story whenever they come out. They're great. Thank you. That means a lot to me, because I'm somebody that holds myself to insanely high standards, if some of you haven't already noticed. And sometimes, like, whenever I miss a deadline, it physically breaks me. Like, I panic. And I want to get to a point where that doesn't happen. And I want to be able to put more effort into videos to be able to give you the best quality as possible, even if it takes a little longer, you know? But it's my own anxiety, to be honest. Out of curiosity, what have been some of your favorite films released this year? Maybe some release that you're looking forward to. Oh my goodness. It's funny because if I think back on movies that have happened this year, I feel like I can't think of any off the top of my head. I did recently see the new Indiana Jones movie, and like, I will forgive them for the third installment, the Crystal Skull installment. I will forgive them after for that, because the fourth, the new one, should I say, it's fourth, right? I want to say it's the fourth one. I could be very wrong. They did a really good job, in my opinion. I thought it was fun. I had a good time. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I had a good time. It was really well casted. It was really fun. And the story felt more quintessential for Indiana Jones. So that was my most recent movie that I went to go see. I'm really obviously looking forward to Barbenheimer. I'm obviously looking forward to that. I'm, as like a film buff, or well, a film major, should I say, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen there in terms of box office numbers, in terms of like results. I'm really excited to see both of those films, because I'm, a huge fan of those kinds of films, both for Christopher Nolan and for Greta Gerwig. I'm not a really big Christopher Nolan fan because, like, it's, some of the women that he writes, I like some of the lines, they don't hit right with me. And I'm excited to see Oppenheimer, because I think it's going to be a good story. Christopher Nolan tells a really good story. I just wish his female characters were written a little better. That's my 2 cents. Anyways, those are the films that I'm definitely looking forward to. I hope you are all looking forward to films too. The big idea I had for an audio is sort of a Top Gun inspired. Okay, so like jets, where the listener and my character would be flying over the ocean and would encounter a mysterious new fighter jet. Okay, very interesting, because you're going to be, in the cabin, I would imagine. So it's going to be a very specific kind of sound. I would imagine a little bit more bassy, or a little bit more hollow, because it's like flying in an airplane, right? Like it kind of feels like that. The wind is kind of coming through, but it's hollow. And of course, your audio would be coming through a walkie-talkie. So it would be a little distorted to kind of sound like it was coming from a phone or from a walkie-talkie. And of course, you'd be able to make the whooshing noises, the wings of the plane tilting. But for the most part, it's actually like, that would be a really fun one. Like, especially in terms of audio design, It's easy to get wrapped around the axle about schedules and meeting expectations of quality. And I found that it's crucial to celebrate the process and feeling of creativity by its own right. Thank you. So many people have tried to explain this to me, and I'm slowly learning that after 6 years, that it's true. Like, if you stick to the schedule, or if you you build these anxieties or set these deadlines for yourself, you find that it makes your creativity clouded. Like, it really stunted my creativity. And when I find that, like, I'm most creative is when I don't have to worry about anything, I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. Speaking of films, have you seen the new dinosaur movie called 65? I have not. I didn't even know there was a new movie out. That's really cool. Huh. I have not seen it. I saw Sound of Freedom yesterday. Ooh, okay. Indiana Jones and Dan Aykroyd vodka. And the Dan Aykroyd vodka and the and the kiss Indiana Jones and the incredibly accurate humanoid skull vodka. My brother wants to do Barbenheimer so badly. LOL. I love that. Yeah, like, why not, right? Go and see it in the day, then go get some drinks at night to get over the heavy, heavy, heavy implications of the fact that you're watching somebody create an atomic bomb, and then go have some drinks and enjoy Barbie and just relax. Turn your mind off and just relax. high standards. I don't have much to offer in comparison with your scripts. I binged your videos for a while, a time ago. I couldn't offer anything half as good as your work. I say that out of honesty. I understand the feeling of like, you know, not feeling like the work you do is good enough. But I really hope that you're able to, you know, see that your work is just as worthy. Your ideas are just as worthy. Like, there's no better than or worse than. They're all worthy. And I hope that at some point you're able to create your own stories and be able to maybe even make your own channel. And I'd love to be able to hear those stories. Like, I hope that you're able to create. You know what I mean? I hope that you're able to feel comfortable enough to just create. Even if it's not, you're not at a point where you're ready to share, you're at least comfortable creating. Hey, Vixie, how's it going? Hey, hi. It's good to see everybody. Hello, peeps. Hello. Hi. Can we still start while recording on phone? I think the biggest issue I'd have is getting the sound right, since I'd want decently accurate sound effects, engine wing, bullet, radar warnings, missiles. Take a look, like search YouTube and search like sound effects and just listen to those and see if maybe like you can like bookmark them and try and get a kind of a good feel for what you want. You know what I mean? There's a site that I use. I'm trying to remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'll have to like put it in the description below later. For free and royalty-free sound effects. They have an extremely large library, and I use a lot of them for my videos personally. But I'll have to link it to you guys so you can check it out. You are your own worst enemy in this regards. Often your fans will have a higher opinion of your work than you do, speaking from experience. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Sometimes I feel kind of lackluster about stories, but then people love it, and you know, it's not for me to decide what's like what people are going to enjoy. I just want to put out the stories that I feel like I want to put out at the time, and you all make my life that much more radiant, considering that you listen to the stories, you critique, you give me good, sometimes I get good feedback, sometimes I, you know, it comes across as, you know, not the way people want it to, or not the way I intended it to, and I hope to catch those moments and correct them whenever I can. Dude, imagine if whatever wizards do to the sound of design of the Transformers movie worked on audio role plays. That would be off the chain. Yeah. The Michael Bay sound editing team is like on another level. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane, because there's every single frame, there's noise. There's not a moment of silence. Every single noise is carefully curated to create this world and this, you know, this motion. Even just the moving of one of, you know, the Transformers' arms, it's a specific sound to a specific character, and it's insane. I can't even wrap my head around that editing timeline. Can you imagine how insane that must look? Well, I'm glad that everybody's having a good time, and I'm glad that you've all enjoyed my stories. Feel like sometimes I get a little unhinged, but that's just, I feel like that's just me putting my own spin on things, you know what I mean? It's not really a Vixie voice video if there isn't some kind of twist, right? Okay, the girl of your dream story messed with my head for a couple of days. Well, I'm glad that you liked it. I'm really glad that you liked it. I had a really good time recording that one. I had to go back and reread some lines because I was like, wait a second. Oh no, that's right. Because the jargon I used was a little like, it made me feel like I wasn't, like, I don't remember writing it. And it was crazy because when I was reading it, I was like, wait a second, what's happening? I'm glad that you guys are all hanging out and chatting. I'm just reading through some of the comments that are talking, right now. They're talking about the movie 65. I love that. I haven't seen it. I didn't even heard about it. So it looks like someone took Primal and said that should be Primal. Okay. I had it with the 2018. You saw the 2000. You went to see Slender Man in theaters. That's dedication. I was going to say, which made it almost worth the watch. I was like, that's dedication. You went to go see the 2018 Slender Man movie in theaters? Wow. Wow. That's incredible. I didn't know that was a thing. Also, since we're mentioning 65 and Primal, I am legally obligated to remind everyone to watch Prehistoric Planet if you have the mild interest in paleo media. Ooh. Okay. Prehistoric Planet. We'll have to check that out. It's on Netflix. Okay. Okay. No wonder. I'm not... I have streaming services. I'm somebody who rewatches the absolute butt out of, like, the absolute crap out of shows. I just rewatch them, and it's... Unless someone, like, tells me to, or we're watching something different, I just won't do it. So I actually don't know a lot of the new things that are coming out. Like, I have not seen a lot of new shows that are coming out nowadays. Slender was trash, lol. Right now I'm really stoked for the last Voyager of the Dementor. Ooh, okay. Slender was trash. That's a very good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it. I'm really looking forward to Iron Lung. I can't wait to see, what Markiplier does with that franchise. It was really, really good timing. Really good timing, if you ask me. And I can't wait to see it. I'm really looking forward to, influencer projects, especially getting that kind of recognition. Have you gotten into any new hobbies? I've been dancing a lot more lately. I've been going to, finally starting to get back into the gym and working out. So I've started taking more dance classes. That's been fun. I'm still new. So every time I take 3 steps, I'm sweating like crazy, but practice, right? Practice makes perfect. But thank you for asking. Basically, my life is work, this channel, sleep, work, this channel, sleep. I think about this channel constantly. It's always on my mind, and I'm always trying to think of new ways to make it bigger and better. And some days it's easier and some days it's not. But I appreciate every single one of you that have been a part of this ride. Hi, Vixie. I'm glad I managed to catch you live. Hello. Hi. It's so good to see you. I hope that you're enjoying, and I'm glad that everybody's been able to hang out and chat. It's been so long since I've done a live stream, and I think I'm definitely going to have to do another one at some point. Maybe next month I'll do one. Be able to hang out. Maybe we can do another script writing one. That could be fun. Or if you guys want, I don't know if it's, my computer would probably crash. You know what I'll do? Maybe one of these times I can do a screen recording of my editing process, and I can kind of show you guys what I do. If that's something that people would be interested in, I'm totally down to do something like that. I'm just worried about if I just screen record my process, the whole computer will just collapse in on itself. Luckily, I live near a fire station. Otherwise, the whole thing would just implode. Will you be making any new pixel art we can download from your site? That's a really good idea. That's a really, 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 really good idea. Pixel art is so fun, but so time consuming. Like, this background even was, it doesn't look complicated, but it gave me challenges. It tested me in ways that I had no idea could test. But I think that's a really good idea. I like that. I absolutely would love to do something like that. If there's any, things that people want to see, I'm totally down to be make some pixel art for you guys. That would be awesome. Yes, please. That sounds cool. Yes, do that. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I will put that on the list. I love that. Here's a Halloween idea. Vixie gets turned into a Cyberman for Doctor Who. We have an interaction with regular Vixie. She sacrifices herself to save us, and we find her again as a robot. Oh, okay. Dope. I like that. I'm going to have to write that one down. Keep an eye out for that one. Thank you for the idea. I like that. I really appreciate you guys giving me your ideas. Or like, sharing your ideas. You're not giving me, just sharing your ideas with me. It's very sweet. I really appreciate it. A lot of my videos have come from, my own mind, but at the same time, a lot has been inspired by you, by comments, by suggestions, by people sending me scripts. I have actually, that's really funny now that I mentioned it. Jackson actually did send me a script that I did publish. It's Project Black Shuck. That was his. I believe that was one of our initial interactions. And and if I'm mistaken, then I feel embarrassed, but I'm pretty sure that was his. It was really fun. It was really really good. It really stretched my imagination. You know what I mean? When in terms of what I could do with audio and what I could do with the world building. It's really tricky to take people's scripts and build a world for them, or not for them, but the world that they want it to be. I really try my best to ensure that what I'm doing is doing justice to the script at hand. What would you think if you have a boyfriend and he took you to see a movie, but you and your boyfriend watching the movie all to yourselves, like a private, okay, like a one-on-one thing? You're just talking the whole time? See, I love that. I like that idea. I'll have to write that one down too. Most of my ideas are weird with a capital W. All of my ideas are really normal. All of my ideas are super normal. I didn't have an entire, I didn't pop off with a story about, a yandere or anything like that. My ideas are normal. I'm a normal, not my Minecraft server. I welcome any ideas. There's no such thing as too much, too extra, too weird, too gory, too graphic. There's no such thing. Well, maybe with that last one, but in my mind, there's no such thing as too much. I'm happy to read it all. I don't think there's ever such a thing as extra. I say that with full confidence, knowing that I know someone is going to absolutely toe that line and test that limit. I know. I say that with my chest, and I know someone's going to be towing that line. And that's fine. I'm happy to read those scripts too. Got your stream with on the big screen TV. Oh, cool. Wondering if you're going to do a sequel to Rags to Riches. Ooh. See, I love that series. And as much as I would love to continue it, I don't know what I'd do with it. I remember that series so well because the guy that played, I believe the listener's father, is the sweetest person in the world. Just the sweetest. And to be able to work with the rest of the voice actors that I did, they were all really great. I got to talk to them. I got to really get to know them. And I feel like that series is just perfect as is. Maybe I'll do stories based on it, but I don't think I'd do a book 2 on it. That actually, it's really funny because that story was based on a telenovela that I think I saw a trailer for, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do something slightly different, but it was inspired by a telenovela that I saw a trailer for, and I was like, I want to do that. And then it just turned into this. I never saw the novella. I saw the trailer, and I was like, ooh, and then I just never thought about it again. Do you have any pets? No, I'd love to. I'd love to be able to. I feed a lot of strays in my, where I live, and I'm happy to call them my babies. I'm happy to make sure that they're well fed and that they're taken care of and that they are okay. But they are as close to pets that I get. I pet sit a lot for friends and coworkers, so I feel like they are also my babies. Project Black Chuck was a load of fun. Okay, good. That was you. Oh, okay. Me thinking that, I'm like, oh wait, I'm mistaking this person. Okay, good. Yes, it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I was able to bring that concept to life. I'm a normal. Oh, I'm a normal channel. I'm a normal roleplay channel. How do you feel about the landscape of YouTube's sensitivity around darker, more topics? Do you feel like it limits your creative options? I'm not gonna lie. One of my, I mean, one of the first videos, or like one of like maybe the first 10 videos I did, was a unaliving prevention, like a comfort role play for, prevention of that kind of stuff. And I think because I use the word instead of like the fun, not the fun, but the key phrase that is okay and YouTuber friendly, it was immediately like demonetized. It was completely demonetized because I don't think, advertisers are comfortable putting their name on something like that, which is weird because it was a positive thing. Like, it was meant to be a positive thing. But I think because I came out the gate swinging and just used the word, they didn't like that. So I don't think it limits my creative options. I just think that it sucks, that we can't say these things because they're very real. They're things that happen. And I wish I could do more. You know what I mean? Instead of like making it seem like I'm calling it a pet name or something like that. I would love to be able to just say the word. But that's just kind of my 2 cents on the subject. I totally understand. People are completely, entitled to not feel comfortable with certain things or certain topics. I totally get that. But I would rather exactly what it was than like beat around the bush with some kind of keyword. Just my 2 cents. Have you heard of Private Dining Room? But I had my first only private viewing screen when I was the only person. Private viewing screening. I think that could be fun. Like I said, I would basically be talking the whole time of the movie, which I do normally, and I have been told on several occasions that that's not something people like. But that's something that we could figure out. I think that's fun. I think it's a fun idea. I got 5 cats here, not my idea. You need 5 in order to make sure that burglar comes down. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody breaks into your house, 3 is not enough. 5 is a good number. They're going to bring that baby down and keep your house safe because that's where their food is at. I love that idea. 5 cats. I love that. The fur. You must live in a snow globe. I can imagine. I have many ideas. The most forward thought, that there's a voice in the listener's head that is just really intimate and personal. It's kind of like, it's kind but sometimes get defensive and down on in silent times. Ooh, okay. Ooh, that's a good one. See, that is a really good one because it makes like your life as a role play actor, writer, so much easier because it's just the one dialogue that you need to worry about. And you're giving all the context. It's like you're telling a story as as the story goes along. You're telling the story as the story is going along. I like that idea. That's a good one. That's a fun one. And I think it could be very powerful, very emotional, very good, very comforting, I think it's something that people would really relate with. I had a cat and a dog, but my dog just came to the end of his life just last year. Oh, I'm sorry. My family's dog recently passed away around last year as well. I can definitely relate, and I'm really sorry about that. I used to have hamsters and goldfish, but of course, and I used to have a rabbit, but it ran away. I'm sorry. My family used to have rabbits too. Unfortunately, it just never worked out. They were class pets, and I think one of the kids really loved it, so my mother ended up letting him adopt it. But I hope that your cat is doing well. I hope that your kitty's doing well. I have the idea, but fleshing it out is tough. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes I have an idea, but I can't think of what else I want to do with it. So what I'll do is I'll sit down and I'll just write nonstop for like 5 minutes or 3 minutes or something. It doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. It doesn't matter if the story is cohesive. I'm just writing down everything that comes to mind in that 3 minutes. And after that, I'll stop and I'll go back and I'll read. And sometimes there's just nuggets of gold in there, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And maybe you just need to walk away and come back to it later. Maybe that could be something that could help. I'm not saying that's something that you should do, but I think maybe it could help with, some of the fleshing out ideas concept. A black hat is all I got. Oh, a little void. How cute. What was your most favorite or difficult series you did? Ooh, I love this question. Okay. Guilty was very difficult for me. It was really hard because I wanted the story to make sense, but you were the one that kind of had to figure it out for yourself. So I had to really put out a lot of context clues, and I really had to push out a lot of, I had to let go of a lot of preconceived notions, or things that I was already used to. And I love that series because I've always wanted to put myself in the Hannibal Lecter position of like, you only come to me because you have to. And like, I have been, in my mind, I have been wrongfully accused of something. And like, but nothing is bothering me. Like, I'm happy. It's fine. And I'm helping you. And it's crazy. And it was really complicated, but I love the way it came together. It was just a beautiful story. And it has to be up there with one of my more favorite series. In terms of like story, I was really like happy with the way it went. I was happy with everything. I love all my series. I honestly can't pick a favorite. I love Rags to Riches, Princess and Her Guard. I love Guilty. I love Superstar Experience, although I really feel like I dropped the ball on that and didn't do it as much justice as I would have liked to. But I'm hoping that with my next series, it's going to hopefully pull, itself up by its bootstraps and be able to give you something really cool. Thank you for the question. I love that question. Just sent you another script. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it can often feel like, yeah, absolutely. And it can end up limiting healthy discussion. I get that it's a mechanism to limit toxicity, and moderation is such a moving target. So fair enough. Exactly. It's a lot of kind of curtailing around the issue, but we're all, we're not talking about it, but we know what we're talking about it. You know what I mean? And I think it's weird that we're kind of growing, or like YouTube is developing that because they're afraid of losing ads, you know what I mean? Or afraid of losing revenue, or afraid of, lawsuits or something. And I understand, like, there are a lot of young people who use the platform. I absolutely, as somebody who puts out the content I do, I am very aware of that factor. I just try my best to be as honest and authentic as possible. Sometimes it doesn't come across that way, and sometimes it does. I try my best not to walk that line. I try my best to put every foot, like my good foot forward. I love giving obnoxious commentary during movies. You just got to go with it. You just got to go with the right person. Absolutely. Like I'm somebody that in order to be able to get through a movie, I need to be able to like comment or like say something or even just a dumb joke. Like I remember I was sitting at, and I know some of you will know this, but like I love referencing this so much. I remember I was going to see The Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson, in the theaters. And this was like the fourth time that a friend of ours went to see this. So like he'd already know what's going to happen. He already knew like the story. He was ready. He was a fan. He just wanted us to go with him. And so when we went, we were sitting and we're watching, and towards the end of the movie, there's a scene, a really quick scene that just threw me off of a loop. And I felt so annoyed that I couldn't say anything. But like, there's a scene where Selena Kyle, Catwoman, she takes a cat, she's holding one, and then she just puts it in a motorcycle compartment next to the motorcycle wheel, like the back wheel. And then she closes it. There's no air holes in that thing. It's not like a cage. It's a box. And I like look around. I'm like, wait a second. Wait. You're not just going to speed past that. Like you didn't just shove a cat into that box and then drive off with it. Like I was viscerally upset that I couldn't say anything about it. I wanted to scream. What happened to the cat? But like I had to go back when the movie came out on stream on HBO. For streaming on HBO, I went back and I found that scene and it confirmed my crazy notion. I thought I was losing my mind, but no, she did. And I wish I could have said something in the moment, but that's just me being obnoxious. No snow down here in the Carolinas, just sun during the summer and rain during the winter. It almost never gets cold down here where I live. Oh, I'm sure it must get warm out there, out in the Carolinas. Woo, I can imagine. That's like a dry heat, huh? Rain during the winter. That's nice, though. I mean, I don't say that. Maybe it's like monsoon season. Maybe that's like, rain during the winter. I live in a place where we don't get much rain. Not anymore. We are desperate need of it, but, My black cat called Kira. Oh, I love that name. We love your work. It's been fantastic. Oh, what? Poor cat. I know! That's what I'm saying. Poor cat. It blew my mind. I appreciate that. Authenticity is so rare these days, especially when in the content creation circle. I have been losing my mind over YouTube content creators lately, and I'm sure you have all heard the song and heard the dance, but I cannot believe what is happening on YouTube right now in terms of content creation. It is thriving in some areas and just imploding in others. And it's so bizarre, like, to see it all unfold, because I'm somebody who's been there since, like, YouTube's inception. And to think about how, where we were to where we are now is insane. And so, like, when it comes to authenticity, I tell the stories I want to tell and I write the scripts I want to write because it's my voice and it's my dialogue. It's my lingo, as it were. It's the way I talk. It's the candor, like the way I'm talking to you right now. It's not a character. Like, this is how I talk. This is how I normally am. And so I try and put a lot of, myself into that when it comes to, because I want it to feel real. I don't want it to feel like I'm voicing a character for you. Like, no, I want it to feel real. I want it to feel like you're having a conversation with a friend, or an acquaintance, or, a long lost friend, something. I want it to feel like you're having a real conversation in the real world, even though there could be zombies, or we're in space, or, something else going on, or we're flying on dragons and stuff like that. I want it to feel real. Story idea. Vixie and the listener work for a super creepy woman. The boss is super intrusive and way too creepy. They go in to quit, but her office is dark and all they hear is a ukulele playing. No! Not the ukulele! No! Not the ukulele! I don't think Rebecca Sugar is ever going to be able to come out of that. You know what I'm saying? Heading out. Nice to hear you again, Vixie. Great to have you in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome, everybody. And I hope that everybody's having a good day. And I hope that everybody continues to have a good day. Just humidity, Atlantic Coast, Southeast. Who is your ASMR creator crush? Oh, my gosh. Honestly, Morgan Audios. I love her. Love her. Love her work. She does, like, I just love her stories. They're fun. They like make me feel like, yeah, like we're going to get stuff done today. I love her work. Like, I love her work. Mid-90s here currently. Warm. It's like 65 and I'm here and I'm sweating. One of my film professors recently said the only thing that's real in the movies are the emotions, and that rocked my world. You know what? That's true. That is very true. I would say that there are a lot of moments, at least more nowadays, that are a lot more real. Like, you know, the infamous glass breaking scene in Django Unchained for Leonardo DiCaprio. That was real. And that whole situation was real. That reaction of her getting blood wiped on her face is real. Like, everything in that scene was very real. And, like, you're seeing that more nowadays because those takes end up being better than, you know, anything that could be faked. And so that's definitely, I agree with that. Like, emotions are the only thing that are real in the movies. I agree with that 1000%. Morgan rules, comforting Southern mom energy. Yes, I know, right? Love it. Ukuleles, the devil's stringed instrument of torture. I know. Oh my God. I can't, like, that song has been stuck in my head for the longest time, and I hate that it is. But it's so, oh my God. Oh, Lord, YouTube is on fire right now. I'm just trying to enjoy my little corner, you know what I mean? Hanging out with you guys like, hey, we're here too. I would love to hear a collab between you and Morgan. Actually, she was on my channel. She was my lead character in Crendon Theater. She was, for a while, my main character in that series. That's still available on my channel. That was also, it wasn't a series, it was a book that I was writing. And so I decided to turn it into, you know, a role play because I was like, why not? That's my whole brand. So I ended up doing that, but I think it's just, my life got in the way. Things got busy and I completely dropped the ball on it. But like, I love that series. That story was fun. I love that story. I might have to rewrite it again. Maybe pick it back up. Oh, totally. Just the idea that you're working in these fictional realms, your ability to convey emotions and connect with your audience means it doesn't matter how wild the concept is. I have heard that a lot, you know, throughout the years of maybe, I cannot believe I sound so old when I say that. Throughout the many years that I've been on YouTube. It's been 6 years. It's not that long. But like, I really want people to connect, you know, especially emotionally, because like, it pulls you out of the story. You know what I mean? If you're not there, and, you know, if you're not present, then you're just not gonna connect with it. You're not going to pay attention to it. And it's kind of going to be like white noise in the back of your mind while you're like scrolling through TikTok or something. My favorite series of hers is the Vampire series. Oh yeah. Love that one. So good. And when I say hers, I mean Morgan's. Absolutely. Yes. Morgan's Vampire series. Oh, do you write novels? I don't write novels. I started writing a book which was called Crendon Theater. It was a book that I've been working on for a couple of years about a girl whose family basically are like, she's born of a family of famous theater actors, and she's going to, you know, to her first big audition at this really world-renowned stage that's known to have kind of a weird history to it. And she ends up, when she goes there, she auditions and something happens. And she ends up passing it on stage. She gets woken up by this person, and it was a stage tech. It's like, hey, you good? Like, what happened? And eventually, like, she, you know, she learns more and more about the history of the theater and how it's haunted, and how basically the, you know, the stage performers, the techs, the dancers, like a lot of people are still trapped in that theater. And it's kind of a lot like a oh my God, what was that Jennifer Love Hewitt show, Medium or whatever, the Ghost Whisperer or whatever. It's kind of like that, where she would have to like do things for other people while at the same, well, for ghosts in order to help them move on, while at the same time continuing to keep up appearances as part of the show. And I really love the idea. I got like 18 chapters in, and I gotta keep going. Like, I'm sure I could finish it if I actually just sat down and went through it. It's crazy to think that you're a writer, VA, and editor of all your stories. You're so talented. Thank you. I don't think of it that way. I think of it as like a creative manic episode. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane that I'm now realizing that, like, oh, I understand why people hire writers, hire editors, hire, graphic designers. I get it. I understand. Hey, Vixie, what's up with you? Hi, I'm good and hanging out with everybody. I'm really happy that everybody's been able to stop by. Y'all being here an hour and y'all can't drop $1. Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you. You don't have to spend money. That's okay. I really appreciate it. Even, any donation goes directly to the channel. It goes directly to me being able to continue to put out great content for you guys. It just pays for a lot of the subscriptions, that I gotta pay for. But I really appreciate it. Seriously, don't feel like you have to donate. I appreciate any donation, even if it's your ideas. Like, it's incredible to think that you're here and hanging out with me and want to listen to the weird ramblings that that I have. It's interesting because as much as I don't really have the real friend interaction lately, living somewhere where I only have one friend where I live at, it does feel real listening to your videos. Well, thank you. I definitely can understand that. And I hope that, you're able to meet more and be able to get to know more and be able to have fun adventures with them. I want people to always feel like they have someone that they can go back to with my channel, if that makes sense, like a constant. I want people to be able to find what they need, even if it's just a distraction in my channel. And I hope that I have given you enough variety to be able to do that. I know that there is a lot of catalogs, but I hope that in my playlist I've given you a little bit more, specifics in order to help and however I can. Because I may not be there physically. I hope that I can help in other ways. Do you read fan fictions? I do. I'm not going to say which ones, but I do. I absolutely do. I don't think you can be a role player and not read fan fictions. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like Phantom of the Opera type book, honestly. Yeah, kind of, except not the weird situation between Christine and the Phantom, where the Phantom is the same age as the ballet instructor and has been there for so many years and watched Christine grow up, and that's fucking weird and nobody's talking about it. It's definitely none of that. It's none of that. It's none of that. But the whole point of the book is that I want you to I want you to be able to read the story and not know whether or not these characters are real or not. Because it's a haunted, theater. You don't know. Is this person real? Is this person dead? You don't know. And that's why I wanted to play off of that trope of, like, every person this woman interacts with or the character interacts with, she doesn't know if they're alive or dead. Like, she just doesn't know. She just sees them all as people, and she cannot tell the difference. You know what I mean? Morgan has done some Let's Plays too on her channel. She has. Ooh, cool. I love the idea of Let's Plays. I should do more of those. I'm so bad at, I need to, like, get some capture software and actually, like, do this right. You know what I mean? Like, I love Let's Plays. I love the concept. I just feel like I'm boring. The games I play are boring. Creative manic episode, the Vixie voice story. That is absolutely what my biography is going to say. It's either that or that's going to be the quote from somebody on the back of the back of the book. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, oh, critics say it's definitely the most creative manic episode I've ever seen. But that's what I love, is that I love that I have been able to tell the stories as unhinged as they may come and as unhinged as they may be. And people love them. I don't understand sometimes. Like, I'm like, oh no, I'm really worried. This may not, I think people may get the wrong idea. I think people may not like this one. I'm really nervous. Oh, they like it. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, we're good. Thank you for being, oh, thank you so much for the $2 donation. That's so nice of you guys. You seriously don't have to give me anything. I really, really appreciate it though. Thank you. Vampires or werewolves, which would you date if you could? The question that has plagued every millennial for generations. Ooh. Damn, that's hard. That's tricky. That's tricky, right? Because like with vampires, I would hope that, or I would at least have an expectation of like, oh, you've been around for a while, so you know what you're looking for. You know, you're not beating around the bush, you're not playing games, you're being direct, you're being honest, you're being straightforward. And then on the flip side with the werewolf, oh my god, I don't know. I don't know why this is a difficult decision. I don't know if I don't know. I'm actually stumped on this one. I don't know. I love the idea of werewolves because there are others. You know what I mean? Like, they don't travel alone. They travel in packs, so there's other doggos. And that's as unhinged as it gets for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's bats and there's doggos. There's animals involved. They're both cute. I guess it depends. I have no idea on what. But I genuinely can't answer that question. I don't know. That's tricky. Like, I haven't actually sat down and thought about it. You know what I mean? Some people saying like werewolf boyfriends sound warm in the winter. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, comfortable. Vampire. I don't want to make out with a doggo. Kibble breath. Kibble breath. Some people say werewolf. Some people say vampire. Okay, that's fair. Group playthrough of the Outlast trials. Oh my god. You know, I have been thinking about doing a voiceover for, like, you know how Snapcube does like dubs of the Sonic games? I would love to do something like that, but like for a TV show, like an abridged version of a TV show, or just an episode. Because I have some really funny voice actor friends, and they're so much funnier than me. So I feel like they'd be able to do these things justice. Let me know if you would all be interested in something like that, and I might be able to make that happen, because I've been kind of on the fence about it. So I've been kind of itching to pull the trigger now that I have an idea of who I'd cast. I'm writing a fan fiction of SpongeBob, and my other characters made a character encounter cryptids. Oh, cool. Very cool. Very intricate. You boring? Now that we must disagree. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys don't find me boring. You got that spark to your performance, Vixie. It's hard to describe, but I know it when I see it. Thank you. It's very sweet, and I'm really glad that you guys enjoy it. All I want to do is make people, you know, feel good about, like, the content that they're listening to. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm shortchanging you, or that, like, you know, I'm not putting in effort, because I want y'all to have the best. Y'all deserve the best. I distinctly remember you working with multiple artists on your Rags to Riches story. That one was amazing. It was, yes, I did work with a lot of voice actors in that one. But in Guilty, I worked with 8 or 9 voice actors. It was, oh my God, it was so complicated. But it, like, both of them, it doesn't matter how many artists I work with. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. They bring this magic to the story that I could never even begin to fathom to reach on my own. And I can't wait to be able to bring on more voice actors and introduce you to more talent and be able to elevate them in a way that hopefully gives them a jumping off point. Wear Malamutes or wear Huskies, the fluffier the better. A wear sheep, oh my God. Oh my God. A wear sheep. Can you imagine just like the screaming? That sounds interesting, Vixie. I'd watch it. Okay, cool. Okay, people are interested in the abridged thing. Okay, I'll have to put that together. I love that because I love the idea of doing improv, like, dubs. I love the idea of just, like, not having a script. I love the idea of not having to worry about pre-prep. Just watch the episode or watch the video and kind of get an idea of what you want to say. I love that idea. I love the idea of not having to write a script. You know what I'm saying? You take requests for other VAs to work with? Yeah, absolutely. If you would love to see anybody on my channel, please feel free to shout them out. I'm always looking on the lookout for new talent to be able to, like, work with. Doesn't matter how big or how small, I'm happy to work with anybody who's, you know, willing to put up with me and my redonkulousness. Any good horror movies you would recommend? Ooh. Well, lately I've been watching a lot more documentaries about horror movies. I've been, like, obsessed with the series In Search of Darkness. I think that's from the YouTuber Meat Canyon, the guy who does, like, the kill counts for horror movies. I've been kind of obsessed with watching that, although I will warn you all, each documentary, there's 3 out right now, as far as I know, they are 4 hours long each. It's insane how much content is put into this stuff, but it's so good. It's so much fun. If I could recommend a horror movie, I love, like, bad horror movies. I know that it's weird, but, like, I love bad horror movies. I love B-list horror movies. So I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's definitely wild. I love the Reanimator series. Like, I wouldn't say it's bad, but you're not here for the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're here for the ride. You're here because you don't care how we got from point A to point B. You're here for the ride. And I very much can feel that energy in this movie where it's like, we're just going to do whatever we want because it's fun. Plus, the effects are so much fun. A lot of them were practical and, like, they're just so much fun to watch. I love those kinds of movies where it's like, it's not bad, but it's like, it's not, like, award-winning either. You know what I mean? I have 3. Yeah, shout them out. I'm happy to hear them. Alternate Aurora. She's awesome. I've never heard of her. Okay, I'll have to jot her down. Just watched As Above, So Below last night. Immaculate stuff. Oh, that's a classic. That is a really good classic. As Above, So Below. That's a good one. Everybody's Sleeping on Silent Hill 2006. I forgot about that one. That was a good one. That one, and, like, The Hills Have Eyes. Ooh. That's horrifying. Like, in ways that, like, I don't like. I also love, like, I actually remember getting into a discussion with a friend of mine the other day about, like, what horror movie has, like, what is the scariest horror movie that could, like, ever made, ever filmed? And a lot of people, you know, will be quick to say things like, you know, the more gore, the better, you know, or some people will say, like, psychological thrillers. I simply answered it was the Final Destination franchise. I believe in my heart of hearts that the Final Destination franchise is the scariest horror film series ever produced. Mainly because it has influenced an entire population of people to avoid certain situations, such as driving behind a logging truck. I believe in my heart of hearts that the Final Destination franchise is the scariest horror movie ever created because of the emotional impact that it had on the audience. You know what I mean? That's just my 2 cents. I believe that because more people know about it than, even if they've never seen it, they've heard of it. And even when they do see it, they rethink a lot of things. So I feel like that's, again, just my 2 cents. Just kind of going off on my own little tangent. Gentle GF ASMR. Oh, Gentle Girlfriend ASMR. Okay, I've never heard of her either. Cool. I can't do horror. I'm a Scrooge on Halloween, and something horrible happened to my daughter on Halloween, which I won't discuss, but it's not my story to tell. I'm so sorry. that happened. That is absolutely heartbreaking. And I hope that you are okay. And I hope that everybody involved is okay. I hope the loved ones are okay. I'm sorry. I absolutely, completely can understand, like, why that something would be insanely, like, not something that you're able to sit through. I totally understand that. And you don't have to feel like a Scrooge on Halloween. You have a very valid reason for not enjoying that kind of content. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. You don't have to tell the story. You don't have to justify it to anybody. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's okay. And considering what happened, like, I hope that everybody in that scenario is okay, and I hope that you're doing well. I definitely recommend Autopsy of Jane Doe, a damn good horror movie. Honestly, I could see you getting into the roleplay of a similar premise. I have heard of this movie. I've not seen it. And honestly, I would agree. I would definitely love to be able to do something in that same premise. Annihilation scared the life out of me. High concept. Existential horror tends to get me more than violence. Oh yeah. The jump scares are one thing. It's the mind-bending, mind-blowing kind of thing that always, like, gets me in the end. Bear Waifu, After Dark, and Cutie Fox. Okay, great. They frequently work together. I love that. Okay, I've never heard of any of these people. I love it. I listened to Alternate Aurora, great storyteller. Love that. Okay, love that. I'm gonna have to do more, huh? Horror about loss of identity hits different. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Very much. Oh, dang, you may be onto something. I really do avoid being behind trucks with big loads now. Yeah. Right, like, it's not scary like, ooh, boo, scary. Like, ooh, jump scare, very scary. It's not like that at all. It's more of like I don't want to be behind this giant logging truck that's being held together by 2 chains. I'm okay. I'm just going to be over here and just never drive again. Sleepy Hollow is a good gothic horror film, and it has Johnny Depp in it. Yes, it's a good one. That is a good one. I forgot that he was in that one. She's fine. That's what her she's fine. That's what her fluffy therapy dog is for. Aww. She loves the beach. Both my brother-in-laws are in law enforcement, so she's good. Oh, good. Absolutely. She just can't be alone in the house with a guy. Totally understand. She has her big fluffy dog. She's got a good backup. No, she's good. She's got a good support system, and that's all that matters, is that she's going to be great. She's going to grow up to be a phenomenal kid, I'm sure. Alternate Aurora has a really unique voice, a bit like a female Clint Eastwood. Oh, that is a very specific kind of a damn fine storyteller. I think you and her were my first audio ASMR artists. That's awesome. A female Clint Eastwood. Okay. So she's got more of like a deeper voice. Okay. I can dig that. I could definitely dig that. Kim Carter. Is that I hope maybe that's a voice, like, I'll have to check them out if they are a voice person. Then there's cosmic horror, the fear of the unknown, and the fact that we could be wiped out from the literal blink of an eye. I know. Sleepy Hollow also has Christina Ricci. Love her. Love me some Christina Ricci. Final Destination is the kind of horror that lingers on you, because accidents can happen everywhere you go, so you can see it happening. Absolutely. It plays on very real situations. You know, it's a very, like, sitcom but not funny kind of situation. Oh my goodness. I love these conversations. Thank you all for your suggestions, and I've got a lot of reading, writing, and watching to do. Whew. I hope that you're all having a fantastic day today. I hope that it's a wonderful day for y'all. I am going to wrap it up here for the day, and I just want to thank everybody for attending. Thank you all for your donations too. That was very sweet of you both. Thank you for your suggestions. Thank you for your ideas. Thank you for your concepts, and thank you for sharing. Like, thank you for talking with me and, you know, just chatting with me. I'm glad that I could be here and listen to everything that you all have to say and be able to hang out with everybody. I miss y'all, and I'm hoping to do more of these in the future. Like I said, I've got a lot of fun new ideas coming through, and I really, really, really can't wait for you to see them. I can't wait. I will be, you know what? I will try and do my best to do another live stream next month. I think that that's super doable, and I love the idea of writing scripts with you guys. I think it's fun. Maybe we can do something like that. Just, something to wrap up the summer and start the school year for some of y'all. I hope that you all had a wonderful day, and I hope that you're all safe. I hope that you're all having a good day. I hope that you continue to smile and sparkle and be the amazing person that I know that you are. I hope that you go out and make someone's day that much better, that much sunnier, that much weirder. Like, I hope that you can go out and just be the person, like, just make someone's day. You know what I mean? I hope that you're all out there having a good time. I hope that you're out there having a safe time. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I know that I keep saying that over and over, but it's true. I can't thank you all enough for spending time with me. I can't thank you all enough for enjoying and just hanging out. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. I can't thank you all enough for giving me this platform and continuing to uplift me. I hope I can do the same with other content creators, and I hope I can continue to bring you stories that amaze and sparkle as much as you guys do. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you all in the next one.